everybody, it's Pina here. Welcome back to my channel. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make this really nice bottle holder for your drinks. And it's really quite simple to do. The puff stitch is a little bit more intricate, but most of it is very simple to do and very easy. So here you have the straps, which is as long as you want it. You can make that as long as you want it. These straps I've made is about 43 inches long, but you can go longer. It depends how you want it hanging on around your shoulder, how low or how high you want it. This is pretty high for me. I like it 43 inches high, but of course measure it round your shoulder and your waist when you decide to make the straps. So anyway, the base of it is, as you can see, it's quite simple. So you've got double crochets all the way. You've got the puff stitches here in the middle, and then you've got double crochets and so on. And here the straps are made of single crochet. Now I'm just going to take my bottle out so you can take a look. So here you have the holder. Now the holder itself, it measures for my bottle, because I've got quite a large bottle here, as you can see. Okay, so this fits a bottle of about, well, I can measure this for you first. Let's have a look. So the base of this is about 3 inches in diameter, and the length is about 9.5 inches in length. Well, just over 9 inches in length. Okay, and the strap is 43 centimeters. So it should fit a large bottle, but of course if you're going to make a smaller bottle, you just reduce the number of single crochet rows that you do. Okay, in this tutorial I'm going to do quite a big bottle holder, but if you want it smaller, you can always reduce the rows that you're doing for the double crochet rows. And the base, you can also reduce that too by making 2 rows as opposed to 3, or 2 rounds rather, as opposed to 3 rounds of double crochet. Okay, so that you've got a smaller circle in the middle. This bottle here, I'm just going to measure my bottle. Of course, the base is about 3 inches, and the length is about just over 9.5, just 9.5 inches. So it fits perfectly. This type of bottle that I've just measured for you, or drink bottle, is actually the right size for this holder. And as I said, if you have a smaller holder, then a smaller bottle, and you want a smaller holder, then obviously reduce the number of rows here and here. That's all you do. So I'm going to show you what you need for this project, and for this you're going to need some yarn. Now I've got you can use any yarn you want. I'm using this colour today. It's exactly the same yarn as I used for this one, but in different colours. Now I can put the description and the link below of the colours and the yarn. This is milk cotton yarn, okay, and it's from AliExpress, and it's quite a nice yarn for making small projects like this. So they're quite, they're quite nice. It's quite nice to work with. Now I'm going to use this, and I'm going to use the blue as the base and the cream as for the puff stitch, for the puff stitches area. So also you're going to need a 4mm hook. I've got here, I don't know if you can see, 4mm hook. Got a pair of scissors, got a needle for your ends, and 2 stitch markers. Okay, so let's get started. So I'm going to start with the base colour, which is my blue, and you can use any colour you want. And to start with, I'm just going to grab my blue yarn, and I'm going to do a magic ring. So grab your yarn over 2 fingers, crisscross, get your hook and pull up a loop. Okay, that's your magic ring, and I'm just going to pinch that like so. From here we're going to chain up 2. So 1 and 2. All right, now we're going to do 14 double crochets into this magic ring, and including this chain 2. So I'm just going to pull that a little bit tighter so it's easy to work in, and I'm going to do 14 including this. So that's the first one, so that's 2. So double crochet, as you know, is yarn over, insert into your hook, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2. Yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, pull through 2, and pull through 2 again. So now next is 5. That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So once you've got 14 into your magic ring, we're going to pull that tight, just like that. Okay, and we're going to slip stitch on the top of this, not the chain 2, but the very first double crochet that you made. So we're just going to insert our hook, pull up a loop, pull through the other one, slip stitch. Make sure that's tight. So that's your first round. Okay, so now that you've done that, you're going to chain up 2 again. So that's 1, 2, and we're now going to form the circle, which is the base of 3 rows or 3 rounds of the base of this bottle holder. So chained up 2 here, and we're going to do 2 stitches, 2 double crochets into every stitch, and including this very first space here. We're going to ignore this chain 2 for now. So yarn over, insert your hook into there, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2. So in effect that's 2 double crochets into 1 stitch, ignoring this for now. And all the way along you're going to double crochet 2 into each and every stitch. So that's 2 into there, yarn over, and 2 into this one, yarn over, and 2 into the next stitch, 2 double crochets into the next stitch. Okay, so repeat that all the way around, and I'll meet you at the other end before you do your last stitch and show you how to finish this round. Okay, so come to the end of this round, round 2, and we need 28 stitches at the end of this. So I've got my last 2 in this stitch here, so I'm going to do my last 2 double crochets into that stitch, 1 and 2, and then this chain 2 is going to double up as 2 double crochets into 1 stitch. So I'm going to yarn over and insert my hook into that space where you can see the chain 2, pop my hook in and do a double crochet just there. So then that becomes 2 in 1 stitch, just like the rest of them. And then on the top of this very first double crochet here, we're going to put our hook and do a slip stitch. Just pop your hook into there and then do your slip stitch like that. Pull that tight, and then you've got your circle. That's 2 rows or 2 rounds of this base bit, the circle. Now there's one more round of this, and this is slightly different again, and you can do more rounds, but each time you have to increase the pattern. So I'll show you what to do on the next round and explain that, and And of course, if your bottle is small like this, which is quite small actually, you can leave 2 rounds if you want, but it's entirely up to you. So I'm doing 3 because it fits my water bottle. So we chain up 2 again, like so. And then in this space here, just there, we're going to yarn over, do a double crochet, 1 double crochet. In the next space, we're going to do 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. We're ignoring this chain 2, that doesn't include in this pattern at the moment. So that's 1, 2, and then the next one is 1 double crochet in the next stitch. And in the next stitch, 2 double crochets. So 1 and 2. So the pattern is 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. So now 1 in the next stitch, 2 in the next stitch, 1, 2, 1 in the next stitch, and 2 in the next. One in the next, two in the next. Okay, so now that you've done this pattern, follow it through all the way round. Okay, make sure you've got this pattern of 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 all the way round till you get to the other end. I'll tell you how to finish off the last stitch. Okay, so we've come to the end here, and we're going to do you should end up just here in the last stitch here with 1 single crochet, so double crochet, sorry. So you've got 1 double crochet in that last stitch before you finish off, and then because we've got the chain 2 here, okay, and that counts as 2 in 1. It's because you've got the 1, 2, 1, 2, and so on, the same pattern. So I'm going to yarn over again, and in that space just there where the chain 2 is, I'm going to put my hook in there, pull up a loop, and do my next double crochet, which then goes into the same stitch again like before. And at the end of this round you should have 42 stitches, and we're going to slip stitch in the top of that again, that first double crochet. So you've got your circle. So that's the base of your holder. Now for the next round, we're going to now chain up 2 again. So 1, 2. Okay, now for this bit, we're going to do something a little different because we're bringing up the sides. We're sort of creating the wall of the bottle holder. So I've got the base, and you want to create the wall, this bit. So I'm just going to show you how to do that. So now that you've chained 2, we're going to go into the back loops and the third loops to form this nice little ridge going upwards. So you've done your chain 2, and now into this very first stitch here, yarn over, insert your hook into the back loop only, and then grab the third loop, which is just below. Can you see? There's another loop all the way down the back side here. There's a third loop. So I'm going to go into the third loop, and then I'm going to do my double crochet as normal. There we go, double crochet. So now again, yarn over into the back loop, into the third loop just there. I'll just show you that third loop just there. So there's 2 loops there, as you can see, and we pull up the yarn, pull through 2, pull through 2. Okay, now again, not getting the first loop, always getting the back loop and the third loop, which is just behind the back loop, just along there. You can see another. So that's the V, that's the back loop, and that's the third loop just below the V. So you want to get those stitches there. So again, yarn over, back loop, third loop, grab the third loop as well, pull up a yarn, pull through 2, pull through 2, yarn over, back loop, third loop, pull up the yarn, pull through two, yarn over, so pull through, put your hook through 2 loops, pull through two, pull through 2. So you're forming this little ridge and a sturdy side bit here. So keep going until you've done all the way around. So you need to go back loop, third loop, which is just underneath, and then do your double crochet. So I'm just going to go along doing this so it performs a nice little ridge. There you go. So carry on until you get to the other end, and just before you finish off, I will show you how to finish it. See, it's coming upwards now. So I'll meet you at the other end. Okay, so here we are. We've done the base and the first round of the edges. So I'm now going to do my last stitch just into there, yarn over, and I pop my stitch into there, into the third loop, and do a double crochet. So now you want to join that, so you're going to put your hook into the first top of the first double crochet and do a slip stitch. So you've created and you've closed that round. Okay, so now for this bit we're going to start working our way all the way up. Now I've done 14 rows of this, and if your bottle is a lot smaller, or your flask a lot shorter, you can do less rows. It's not a problem. It's all entirely up to you, but I've done 14 here. So if you want to do the same, you can do the same 14 rows. And I'm just going to again chain up 2, yarn over, and I'm going to go into this very first stitch here and do a double crochet, yarn over into the next stitch, double crochet, yarn over into the next stitch, double crochet, and keep going along. Okay, so I'm going to let you do this round, and I'll meet you at the other end and show you how to finish off this round. Okay, so here we are. I've done the 2 rounds of the sides of the bottle holder. So I've got my last stitch just here, and I'm going to pop my hook in and do my last one. Now that you've done your last stitch, you're going to slip stitch again on top of the double crochet, not the chain 2. We don't slip stitch into that. So on top of the double crochet, pull through and pull through the other side. So you've got your nice neat finish. And if I just pull my hook out, I can show you. So that is the base of your bottle holder. Okay, and all you need to do now is work the same process I've just showed you in the last 2 rounds. Chain 2 at the start, slip stitch into the first double crochet at the end, and you will build that up until you have 14 rows, or however many rows you want. I've put 2 rows here, so I've got another 12 to go. So I'll meet you back here when you've done all your rows of double crochets. Okay, so once you've done your 14 rows of double crochet, which I've just done here, you can see how it's taken that cylinder form for your bottle, and you've got the flat bottom, the really flat bottom, and then you've got the top here. Okay, so the next stage is to do the puff stitch, as you can see. So we're going to have we're going to start with a single crochet in an alternative color. Okay, you can keep the same color if you wanted, but I'm going to change the color in the middle. So we're just going to tie this off now. Now, I like to do an invisible join, so this is how I do mine. I've got a video on how to do that as well. So you can do a normal join where you just pull through and then just leave it like that. But I'm just going to do a neat join because I like it that way. It's very simple, really. Just draw up the strand of yarn and thread it through a needle. As you can see, I've just drawn it through the last double crochet. Okay, so I'm now going to just put that through this V here on the other side, just through the 2 loops of the V, pull it through, and then I'm going to put it through the middle of this loop, this V, sorry, and then just through the 2 loops at the back. Okay, and then you just pull that tight, not too tight, because that now becomes a stitch which you can work into like any other stitch. Because we're changing colour now, so all we need to do is just do the single crochets all the way around. So I'm just going to thread that through inside so it's nice and secure. Now, I do have a video on these invisible joins, and you can check that out in the link below. So you don't want to pull that too tight, but you don't want to leave it too loose either. So I'm just going to do it like that. There we go. And then sew all your tail ends in. Okay, so that should be fine. That's just secure enough, I think. So I'm just going to cut that off like so. Right, so that's all neatly done. Now what we need to do now is just add our new colour. So to do that, I'm just going to grab my cream coloured yarn and grab my hook again. And for this bit, I'm going to do a stand-in single crochet, and I've got a video on that as well. But you can always just do a chain if you want. I mean, you can just do a as you normally would, start into one of these stitches, pull up a loop, and what you can do is chain 1 and then single crochet into the same spot. You can do it that way. I prefer my stand-in stitches, so I'm just going to do the same as I normally do, and that is I've got a video on that anyway. So I'm going to yarn over, okay, like that once. Insert your hook into any of these stitches you want to start. I'm going to start round about there. Okay, pull up a loop, pull through 2, okay, and then we're going to continue. Okay, I'm holding this bit of yarn in my hand still until I do my next stitch. So my next stitch will be into this next stitch here. So that's going to go right into there, pull up a loop, pull through 2, second single crochet. Okay, so now you've got your standing stitch single crochet. So you've got a V there, you've got a V there, and you just continue all along doing single crochet all along this first row of the puff stitch rows. So single crochet all the way down. There we go. So I'll let you get on with these single crochets all the way around until the other side, and I'll meet you when you get to the other side. Okay, so here we are. I've got my last single crochet to do here. I'm just going to pop my hook in and do that. And then as we have come across to this side now, what we're going to do, I'm just going to put my next one just there, and then we're going to slip stitch in the top of that V there. Can you see the V that we made with the standing stitch? There it is. And we're just going to pop our hook into there to complete this round. Make sure you've got 2 strands. I'm just going to put in there and put it into the second. There we are. So you've got the V, and then we're going to just pull that through and do a slip stitch. There we go. So you've done your slip stitch and your round is complete. Okay, now what we're going to do now is chain up 2 from here. So ignore that strand, we're going to tie that in at the end. So, or you can weave it in as you go along. It's entirely up to you. So chain up 2, 1, 2. In the same stitch there, we're just going to yarn over and do a double crochet. And we're going to do another 2 double crochets. So here you have, ignore this chain 2, 3 double crochets. Now we're going to form the first puff stitch. Now for this is what we're going to do for the puff stitch. So we're going to yarn over like that, right? And then into the very first puff, the base of the very first puff, which is just there, okay, we're going to insert our hook. So I'll just repeat that so you can see. Into the very first base of the very first double crochet stitch, we're going to insert our hook. So we're going to yarn over and just insert a hook, and then we're going to grab the yarn, pull up a loop. That's 1. We're going to go in 4 times. So that's 1, yarn over, put your hook in the same stitch. That's 2, yarn over, into the same stitch. That's 3, yarn over, into the same stitch. That's 4. Now you should have 9 loops on your hook if you count correctly. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I've got 9 there. So I'm going to pull my grab the yarn, pull through 8 of these and leave 1 on the hook, the last one on the hook, like so. So you should have 2 on your hook at the end of that. Yarn over and pull through 2. You just formed your first puff stitch. Now we're going to skip a stitch, and not the stitch that's been worked in by the puff, because you can see that one's already worked in. We don't want to go into that. We want to skip a stitch and go into the next one. So yarn over, okay, skip this stitch, go into the next one and do your double crochet. Okay, now we want to do 3 of those again. So yarn over into the next stitch, double crochet, yarn over into the next stitch, double crochet. So that's 3 of them. We're going to do the same thing again as we did here. I'm going to yarn over. We're going to go into the base of this very first double crochet, put our hook in, draw up a loop. That's 1. Yarn over, pull up a loop. That's 2 loops. Yarn over, pull up a loop. That's 3. Yarn over, pull up a loop. That's 4. So they should have 9 on your hook. So I'm just going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Pull through, yarn over, pull through all 8 of these. You don't want to pull through 9. You want to pull through just 8 of these. I'm just going to grab my, wiggle it through, and you should have 2 left on your hook. Okay, pull through those 2. Right. Again, you need to skip 1. So not into the one that's worked in already. Not this one, but the next one, which is just skip 1 into the next one. Yarn over and into that stitch just there. We're going to do a double. Yarn over to the next stitch, double crochet. Okay, yarn over into the next stitch, double crochet. So you've got 3 double crochets there. So we're going to work around those 3 and yarn over into the base of the very first, pull up a loop, that's 1, yarn over, pull up a loop, that's 2, yarn over, pull up a loop, that's 3, yarn over, and pull up another loop, that's 4. That's 4 on your 4 yarn loops pulled up, 9 on your hook, pull through 8 of these. You've pulled through all 8. You've got left 2 on your hook again, pull through the 2. Now I'm going to repeat another time so you can see how it's done. I'll repeat one more time and then I'll let you get on. So yarn over, skip a stitch, into the next stitch you do a double and then you do 3 of those. So that's 1, 2, 3 in each stitch. There you go, 3. Okay, now then what you do is you just yarn over and into the base of the first one. That's 1 loop, that's 2 loops, that's 3 loops, and then the last one 4 loops. 9 on your hook, pull through 8. Just make sure you leave the last one on the hook, pull through all 8 except for the last one, and then you've got 2 on your hook, and then you just yarn over, pull through the 2, and you're back to square one again. So repeat the same pattern that I've just showed you all along until the other side, and I'll meet you when you get to the other side and do your last puff stitch. Okay, so I've almost finished, as you can see, all the way around. I'm now just going to go towards the last one here, and I'm going to do my last puff stitch. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, and pull through 8, 2 on the hook and pull through. So now we've got to join, and to join this we're going to go on the top of this very first double crochet here, the V, and we're going to slip stitch into there. Just pull your thing through and there you are. That's how you've finished off that round. Now in between each of these puff stitch rounds, it's only 2 rounds of puff stitch, we're doing a single crochet. So I've got to do the single crochet row now, and to do this, just grab my yarn. To do this we're going to now chain up 1, okay, and then in the same space there we're going to do a single crochet. Now I'm going to put a stitch marker there because I like to know where I'm starting and finishing. So I'm just going to pop that on there. So I've got a stitch marker there just to tell me where I've started. So I'm now going to just do single crochets in every one of these V's that you see across the top of these puff stitches. So if you can see, I'll show you. I'm going to go into the next stitch just there, single crochet, there, single crochet, single crochet, and that's all you're doing on this round, is a single crochet on the top of every single puff stitch and in between the puff stitches as well. You're going to do your single crochet, so can you see where all the V's are on the top? Every single one of them, don't miss any of them. You go into them and do a single crochet. So I'll let you get on with that, and then I'll meet you at the other end when you've finished this round. Okay, so I've come to the end of this round. I've done my last single crochet here, just into there, and I'm now going to slip stitch into this very first stitch here, the one that we've got the stitch marker in. So I'm going to take that off and I'm going to slip stitch into there like so. Okay, so that bit's done. The next row is again the puff stitch row. So for this we're going to slip stitch again so that we bring it over to here. So we've done the slip stitch, we're going to go into the next stitch and slip stitch. Okay, so now we're on top of the puff. So now we do a chain of 2. Okay, and in there we do a first double crochet. So yarn over and put your double crochet into the same stitch where you did the chain 2. Okay, so now you've got a stitch into there. Now we need to do another 2 double crochets, so that's 1 and 2. Okay, ignoring the chain 2, we're just going to go again and do the puff stitch, but this time we're going to go into the base again, just like before, of the very first double. So we yarn over, put a hook into that base, pull up a loop, that's one loop, yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, that's 2, yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, that's 3, yarn over, insert it, and pull up a loop, that's 4. So we're going to pull through all 4, and we should have 2 left. So pull through those 2, and again we're going to skip the next stitch. Now, not into the one that's worked in, skip that, into the next one, double crochet, yarn over, double crochet into the next one, yarn over, double crochet into the next one, and form another puff. So I'm just going to do another puff in front of you so you can see. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Pull through, and 2 on your hook. There you go. Now, as you can see, they're leveled off now on top of each other. Each of these puffs are on top of each other now, and so you now continue all the way around, and I'll meet you on the other side before you finish. Okay, so I've come to the end of this round. I'm going to show you how to finish off. So I'm just going to do my last puff stitch here, and again yarn over, skip a stitch, and I'm going to do 3 of these, 3 double crochets. Okay. There we go. And now to join. So now what we're going to do is going to join in the top of this stitch here. So we're just going to put our hook, insert a hook in the top of this very first double crochet that you made, not the chain 2, and just slip stitch into there. There we go. Now, the final round of this puff stitch round, it's a 2-row repeat, so, and you should have 11 puff stitches in total at the end of it all. So I'm just going to now do the last bit, and that is the single crochet bit for this bit. So again, you chain 1, and then you just single crochet 1 in the same space there, and all the way along, just like before on the previous rounds that you just did it on the top of the V, just like that. And I'll let you get on with that until I meet you at the other end and show you what to do. Okay, here we go. So this bit's done, and the rest to do is just double crochets in the colour that you used for the base. So for this, I'm just going to finish off my final stitch, but I'm going to do an invisible join as usual, but you can just slip stitch if you want to, and just slip stitch and tie off and then sew in your ends. But I'm just going to do the method of, just cut my yarn, and I'm going to do the method of invisible join, which I showed you before. So I'm just going to do that, and then we can then add our other colour back in. So just going to do my invisible join, just there. Okay, so then sew in your ends, and I'll meet you back here to add the other colour. I wanted to add, you can continue with this colour if you wanted like a two layer effect with cream on top and blue at the bottom or whatever, but I'm going to just do 4 rows or 3. You can do 3 or 4 rows depending on how tall your bottle is, and I've done 4 here, so about 3 or 4 rows here as well. And then we then do the straps. So I'm going to show you how to attach this other colour. I'm going to attach it at the back where we did everything from where we tied off everything and everything. So I'll do it at the back, the same place. And I will just grab my blue yarn again. And I'm going to do a standing stitch now again. And that's going to be a double crochet standing stitch. So to do that, and I've got a video on this. You yarn over twice onto your hook like so, grab your work, and in any part in the back here I'm just going to insert my hook into one of these stitches and pull up a loop. Now I'm going to yarn over and pull through 2 and yarn over and pull through the other 2 on my hook, keeping hold of this strand as you go along to start with anyway, and then we're going to go yarn over into the next stitch and do a double crochet. Once you've done that, you can let go of this tail end because it's not going to go anywhere. So again, we're going to continue with just a double crochet row here to start with. And this is the very first row because we're doing about 3 or 4. You can do 3, 4, depending on the size of your bottle, of course, how tall your bottle is. And here you are, single, double crochet all the way around. Okay, so you know how to do a double crochet now, so that's quite simple. So all you do is this all the way around, and you need to do your number of rows that you want for your bottle. So I'll meet you back when you've finished, and when you do join at the other end, you just slip stitch into the top of this V here, the V of your standing stitch. And if you don't have a standing stitch and you have a chain 2 to start with, then go in the top of your double crochet when you finish, slip stitch into there. So I'll meet you back here when you've done 4 rows, or 3 or 4 rows, whichever, of this the top part of your bottle holder. See you in a moment. Okay, so here we are. I've done my 14 rows of double crochet, my 2 row repeat of the puff stitch, and I've also done 4 rows of double crochet again. But now for the last round, the very last one is single crochet, just to give it that bit of, you know, because it's very stretchy and you don't want it too stretchy, just a little bit. So I'm going to just put a single crochet row just at the very end. You don't have to, but I think it just finishes it off nicely. So this one's got the single crochet edging and it just finishes it off really nicely. So here we go. We're just going to slip stitch now in the top of this very first double crochet, chain 1, and then we do our single crochets as normal, as you go normally along in single crochet fashion. This is what you do, same thing as normal. Okay, so carry on towards the end and I'll show you how to finish off this round and how to do the invisible join, because I'm going to finish off with the invisible join on the single crochet because this is the last round as well. Okay, so here we are at the end of the single crochet row. Now you can either do an invisible join or a slip stitch, and I'm going to do an invisible join as usual. So I'm just going to cut that yarn off, pull it through like so. So you've got that strand left over and the invisible join again. And then once you've done that, we can start doing the handles, or the straps I should say. We could start doing them and they are very easy to do. So I've done my invisible join, just threading it through, and make sure you secure that because that's the last stitch. So I'm going to go ahead and secure this now, and make sure you've secured yours as well. Okay, so here we are. Now that's all completed. Now all we need to do is the straps or the handles, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Now it's as wide as 6 single crochet, single crochets. You can make it wider if you want. If you want your strap to be more wider, I think this strap is perfectly okay. It's just 6 single crochets wide, and it's perfectly okay, and it's durable, and it holds the bottle really well. So I would go for that size, but if you want it wider, you know, you're very welcome to do that. So this is your bottle holder there, and you just need to pop the handles. I'm going to show you how to do that now. Now, because the back is got you can't really tell that much, but it's got a little bit of a line. So I tend to want to put the strap, just fold it where the line is, and you want to put the straps the opposite side. So you've got the back here, you've got the front there, and the straps are going to go here. So in order to do that, we're just going to fold it here like this, so the back is folded in two, and you're going to judge roughly where you want your straps to be. So somewhere in the center, and I'm going to put a stitch marker to show you where I want my straps to be. It's not essentially extremely important, but it's good to have some indication. So I'm going to go for here, that's round about the middle, I think. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe go further on, further back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, that's about right for your straps. So then you want to put one there, and you want to put one exactly on the opposite side. So I'm just going to see where, about there, on the opposite side. Okay, so that's where your start of your straps are going to go, and then you get your hook and the yarn. Now you can use any yarn colour. You can use the same colour as the base of your bottle holder, or you can use a different colour. You can even use the cream colour, or whichever colour that you want. So I'm just going to use this colour now, for now, and what you do is you want to start somewhere. So count 6. So I'm just going to count 6 along. So that's belonging there. That's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So about there we need to stick our hook in. Okay, because that will give it the right position for your strap to start. And from this, we're just going to grab your yarn, and we're going to get a loop and pull it through like so. Once you've pulled it through, you chain 1, okay, pull it tight a bit, and then into that same chain we're going to put a single crochet in. So just put a single crochet into there, just pull that all tight so it's all nice and neat. So I'm going to weave that in as I go along, and for this bit we're just going to literally just do single crochet. So single crochet into the next one, single crochet into the next one. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 into this here. I'm going to take that stitch marker out now and do my 6th one in there. I've got 6 single crochets there, as you can see. Now that's the start of your handles or your straps. So I'm going to chain 1 now and turn my work. Okay, now again you just go into the very first stitch there and do single crochet, single crochet, single crochet, single crochet, single crochet. Okay, make sure you've got 6, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you've got the one more here, 6. So make sure you don't miss that out. That stitch just there, the very first one. I'll pop my hook into there and do a single crochet. Okay, then we chain 1 on every round when we turn, and then into the same stitch again, just here we want to do a single crochet. So single crochet, single crochet, single crochet. As you can see, it's taken its form now. So, and don't forget this last V here. We need to put our hook into there because that's going to make it all level. And then chain 1, turn your work, single crochet. There we are. Last V here. All right. So I'm going to just show you how that looks briefly. So you've got your strap right in the middle there, and it's going to grow as you go along. And you're going to literally just do single crochet, chain one, turn your work, single crochet, as long, you know, to as long as you want your strap to be. I mean, mine, as I said, is about 43 inches, but you can go longer. It all depends on how it hangs on your body. So just measure it up against you. And the strap should look like this when you've finished. Okay, so carry on and do that, and I'll meet you back when you've done the length of the strap that you want. Okay, here I am back again, and I've done the strap, and I've done it the same as the other one, the pink one, about 43 inches, and as you can see, and it's got a bit of stretch to it, so, you know, play around and see how long you want it. So I've done mine this long, and I'm going to attach it now to the other side. So remember, as we put a little stitch marker there, so where we want the other side to be, opposite this one here. And I'm just going to show you how to do that now. Now, you can either turn it inside out and do the slip stitch we're going to do to attach it, or you can just leave it this way, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So basically, get your strap, and I'm just going to show you how. Just straighten your strap up first. Make sure it's the right way round. Now you want your strap to be, yeah, not twisted. You want it to be the right way. There you go. I'll just show you that. I'll just take that so you can see. Right, so if we just make sure it's straight. Right, here we are. So that's my strap. I've got it the right way, leveled off like this. Now, we're going to work from the inside though, because we don't want the stitching or the slip stitch to show too much. So I'm just going to, I've got a bit of a tail end here, as you can see. There's a tail end. So make sure you always leave that tail end when you finish your straps to sew in the, to do the slip stitch. So we're just going to make sure that's in the right position. Yes, about right. Let's just play around with it. So I'm going to need it about here. About here is fine. So it's level to the other side of your work. As you can see, I've got it back and front the same. Right, you can either put stitch markers in if you want, so, but because we're working from the inside, you need to put your stitch marker this way. Lift it up this way. So I'm just going to put it just there. Let's grab the stitch marker here, and we're going to put it just into there and into there, just to help it stay in place. You don't have to use stitch markers, but I like to use them. And then I'm going to take this one out because we don't need that, and we're going to start working now from the turn your work this way. And then we're working from the inside, as you can see. So the strap's going to fall back this way. Okay, so now to do this, we're just going to grab our tail end, just put it onto the other side, and then we're ready to go. So put your hook back in, like so. Just level it off first to make sure. Yeah, there you go. So you've got your two sides together, and just pull that a bit tighter, and then we're ready to go. So we're going to go into the first stitch, which is just here, just here. So we're just going to slip stitch into any of these stitches here, that one there for example, go into the, from the back to the front, okay, of the work. So pull your yarn through and do a slip stitch, just like that. Okay, go into the next stitch and then pick up the back stitch as well, and again do a slip stitch. Right, and then again next stitch, do a slip stitch. Okay, next one, pick up the back and the front together, slip stitch, pick up the back and the front together and do a slip stitch. Next one, got our final one just here, and I'm just going to take my stitch marker off so I can do that. And the final one is front and back slip stitch. So just put your hook into both, pull the yarn through and do your slip stitch. There you are, and then you can just tie off. So now this will look like this on the other way round, so you'll get it looking like it's joined pretty well. So now all you need to do is to actually attach, we're going to sew the ends from the inside, okay, so that it's all hidden away. So I'm going to show you how to sew your tail ends in. So I'm just going to cut a bit of that yarn because it was too long, and we're going to sew that in now. Thread your needle. This yarn is a bit frayy as it's a cotton, milk cotton. It does fray a bit, but it's fine. So go from the inside where you've worked before, and we're just going to sort of join up ends neatly. Make sure that's joined up securely towards the edge. And now we're going to just work our way through. You can just run your yarn through inside out here, anywhere really, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to run mine through here. So it comes to the other side. And then you can add a little bit more security on the corner bits, just there, so it's nice and attached properly. And then come back up if you want to, because this is the one that needs to be really attached properly. So then just come through again if you have to, and then you can go back again if you really want to make it very secure. I'm just going to go back one more time. Okay, that should be fine, I think. Yeah, that's fine. I'm going to cut that off now. So that's nice and secure. Okay, so let's just give that a snip. And there you have. Make sure you do your ends though. I've just got another end here to tie in. So I'm just going to tie in that end as well. And that's just pretty straightforward because this one's already attached quite well, so just need to go through it once or so. That's it. Snip that off. And if there's any loose ends inside your bottle, make sure you, bottle holder rather, make sure you do tie them in beforehand. So I'm going to grab my bottle now and show you how snug that fits. Okay, so here I have my bottle, flask, whatever you want to call it, and I'm going to pop that inside like so. And there you have it. Really nice little bottle flask holder, you see? So it's exactly the same size, and it's very snug, extremely snug, and it's beautiful when you put it around your shoulder with its strap, and it looks really nice, very decorative. I'll show you the pink one as well. That's the blue one. That's blue and cream, and I've made another one in pink and sort of grey, and that also is the same, exactly the same, snug. That's the snug as well, you see. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video. I do hope you make one of these. You can make them as gifts for friends as well. It's quite nice as a gift. And Please like and subscribe to my video if you enjoyed this, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. Bye for now. Take care.